Leave your shoes at the door, come in and get comfortable. Philomath Phil Films. Welcome.
Maybe you're out to find love, maybe you lost who you was. There's millions of us just like you. Like you, just like you.
Okay people, welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. Another topic that I had a passion about was UFOs, alien life. It just piqued my interest, and if something piques your interest, you stay interested in it throughout the years, then a couple of things is going to happen. One, you're going to really try to attain all the information you can on the subject, and two, your opinion is not going to be what it was when you first started that journey, which mine is not by any means. Roughly since I was 18 or 20 years old, I've had an interest in this, and of course my opinion has changed throughout the years. So this is a topic that I've put 2 or 3 videos on my channel in the past. Of course, I believe I deleted them by now. You got to understand, even though I'm new with this, that I don't go back and watch my videos that I have posted on my channel, because it's super cringe for me. One, to hear my voice, and two, to see just how bad I was and how bad the videos were. I don't have any of those UFO videos up there because I had swapped channels and started doing this, and I've been through a couple of rebuilding stages on this channel. But to cover this topic, at least for me at this time, it's very hard for me to hear something or watch a video and say, I've never heard of that, I've never seen that case, or I've never heard of that story, just because of the span of years that I've been interested in this subject. So I thought, tell you what, I'm gonna do a video on this. And then I got to thinking, I can't just do one video on this. I mean, people have entire channels devoted to this that they keep up every day. It's such a massive topic. How do you form an opinion? So many cases, so much circumstantial evidence that we probably have heard 100 times. And there's probably actual evidence that we'll never have a clue about. Well, I can't do one video. This is going to happen. I can't do this without making this a series. There's just no way. Not present everything that I want to present. Sure, a lot of things in this upcoming series you've probably already heard of, without a doubt. If I've heard it, I know you've heard it. But then maybe some of these things you haven't heard of. Maybe some of these things will bear similarities to other cases, or may be relevant in someone else's mind. What I would like to ask, if you're viewing this and you're going to listen to it, if you have an opinion on whatever's being said or not being said, leave me a comment. We'll chop it up, because people, there's going to be absolutely zero possibility of me covering this subject in its entirety. I'm sure my starting point is going to be different. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm going to try to put everything in these videos, in this series, that I deem relevant. I apologize for the length of the intro, but I just wanted to touch base with you on this first video so you know what we're heading into. And with that said, people, let's begin. So this is going to be a series. This is going to be the start of a series.
Okay, so yeah, where to start this series at? Where do I think would be the jumping off point that we can all get on board and to begin this journey? Don't want to start with Roswell. Don't want to do Kenneth Arnold. No, we're going to have to go further back than that. Maybe I should start the video with, yeah, I think I know exactly how to start this video. Sure. I think we're going to try that.
An honor to be here tonight. My name is Kent Hovind. I live in Pensacola, Florida. I taught high school science for 15 years. And now I travel and do seminars on creation, evolution, and dinosaurs. That we believe that the creation ought to glorify the God of the Creator, and he ought to get credit for what he did. So our position is the Bible is true, evolution theory is seriously wrong, and one of the dumbest and most dangerous religions in the history of the world. That's our totally unbiased opinion on the subject. Thank you so much.
My name is Jim Strayer. I'm from Michigan, a major in biology and a minor in chemistry. Served as a corpsman in the U.S. Army Hospital, master's degree in biology. I got that from the University of Michigan.
I'm Reinhold Schlieper. I teach here, and that means I live around this area too.
My name is Luther Reisbig. I'm a professor of aerospace engineering. I got my PhD in engineering there.
I believe very strongly that the Earth is about 6,000 years old. It was created in 6 literal 24-hour days. This position would make a few predictions. The Bible says clearly, in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and all that in them is. Everything created in 6 days. What difference does it make if you believe in evolution or creation? Well, if evolution is true, how do we tell right from wrong?
I know you're probably saying, what the fuck? Right about now. I was supposed to be watching a UFO, UAP/alien video. What the fuck is this? Well, I deem it relevant for a future video. Either creation or evolution. If you've got a different opinion than what is stated here, please leave it in the comments and we can chop it up. I do believe this is a starting point, and I do believe this is going to be relevant in a future video.
Anytime tonight, I would like any one of these gentlemen to answer the simple question, if evolution is true, how does anybody tell right from wrong? If I wanted you to make a list of 10 things that are wrong, before you put anything on the list, I want to know, how are you deciding? Are you deciding right from wrong based on what Osama bin Laden thinks? Do we decide right from wrong based on what Congress thinks? Do we decide right from wrong based on the majority? How do we decide right from wrong? Simple question. If the Bible is true, then man brought death into the world. If evolution is true, death brought man into the world. These two views cannot possibly be more opposite. Somebody is wrong. This textbook says, swirling in the waters of the oceans is a bubbling broth of complex chemicals. Progress from a complex chemical soup to a living organism is very slow. Sure is. It don't even happen. That's how slow it is. This guy said the first self-replicating systems must have emerged in this organic soup. So according to the evolution theory, 20 billion years ago, Big Bang, 4.6 billion years ago, the Earth cooled down. It rained on the rocks for millions of years and turned them into soup, and the soup came alive 3 billion years ago. So great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa was soup.
Well, I suppose you'd like to know what I teach when I teach evolution. I think you should take a look at the black sheet up here to see what the definition of evolution is. Biological evolution is the change in the gene pool of population over time. It's really very simple. You'll see that the age of the Earth has been found out by astronomers studying the age of the Earth, the geologists study the age of the Earth. We've used the radioactivity to find out the age. We've used plate tectonics and the movement of planets. We use biology. And what's interesting about these things is that they've all arrived at the same answer using different science. If one of them had found a different answer, there would have been something wrong. But they didn't. The astronomers agreed with the geologists, and the geologists agreed with radioactivity, and the radioactivity agreed with plate tectonics. They all agreed on a basic time that we've just heard, 4.5 billion years old. If we didn't have any fossils at all, none, it wouldn't matter. We still have enough information to prove that evolution took place. If we didn't have any homologic structures to look at, it doesn't matter. We still have enough evolution facts to show that it took place.
I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being a very honest person, I'm sure you can tell me where God came from. And in addition, once you've told me where God comes from, please try to clarify how you can figure that a spiritual force can have an impact on a material universe to create it. I want you to fill in the story of the rest of the beginning of the universe. God, spiritual matter, impact on material matter.
Okay, so 2 questions. All right.
Go ahead.
All right, your question, where did God come from? Obviously it displays that you're thinking of the wrong God, because the God of the Bible is not affected by time, space, or matter. If he's affected by time, space, or matter, he's not God. Time, space, and matter is what we call a continuum. All of them have to come into existence at the same instant, because if there were matter but no space, where would you put it? If there were matter and space but no time, when would you put it? You cannot have time, space, or matter independently. They have to come into existence simultaneously. The Bible answers that in 10 words. In the beginning, there's time. God created the heaven, there's space, and the earth. there's matter. So you have time, space, matter created a trinity of trinities, and the God who created them has to be outside of them. If he's limited by time, he's not God. The guy who created this computer is not in the computer. He's not running around in there changing the numbers on the screen, okay? The God who created this universe is outside of the universe. He's above it, beyond it, in it, through it. He's unaffected by it. And the concept that a spiritual force cannot have any effect on a material body, well then I guess you'd have to explain to me things like emotions and love and hatred and envy and jealousy and rationality. I mean, if your brain is just a random collection of chemicals that form by chance over billions of years, how on earth can you trust your own reasoning processes and the thoughts that you think?
Bones saved from fossil records showing that the whales evolved through a long period of time from animals that were on land to animals that are in the water. We have that evidence. So you don't have to believe me, you don't have to believe him, you can find out for yourself. You don't have to trust authorities.
He said we have evidence of whales evolving from land animals. In the first place, this is absolutely incorrect. I'm sure this is one of the ones in his fossil proof for evolution, and you're missing such a major point. I don't know if I can help if you can't get this, but no fossils count as evidence for evolution. In a court of law, they would laugh at you because you bring some bones in and say, Your Honor, this is the ancestor of whales. Well, first place, there's not enough to tell what it is. Secondly, you don't know that that is the ancestor of anybody. You don't know that that animal had any kids that lived. It is absolutely impossible to use any fossils at all as evidence for evolution. And anybody that's telling you fossils are evidence for evolution, you talk about voodoo science, that is it, folks, okay? We know these bones produce something other than their kind. Even though no animal today can do this, these bones were able to do it.
So let's go back. We're going to go back. We're not starting with Kenneth Arnold. We're not starting with Roswell, okay? As far as I can tell, these things have been recorded in our history since recorded history, basically. What I would like to do on these videos is to try and add some type of context to each situation. I want you to think where we're at in time and what it meant to experience this or to see this in that specific time. I'm not going to tell you to believe or not to believe. I'm going to present a shit ton of information. I won't call it evidence because I'm not a detective and I can't verify that as a fact. But what I can do is present you the information that's been presented in these situations. You can make up your own mind. If you have thoughts, bitches, complaints, leave them in the comments and let's talk. In 2025, you can see this on CNN.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh.
But I promise you, that wasn't the case in 1990, in 1980. It was your nut job. Don't get it wrong and don't twist what I'm saying. There's some fucking nuts out there, okay? That are fucking, they're out there and they're gone. And I realize that. That's why you're not going to see me put a video of Uncle Bobby in his overalls cleaning out his fucking outhouse saying that there's an alien in the toilet. Artwork is open to the interpretation. These are going to be a few of the pieces of artwork that are quote unquote considered to be UFOs or iffy. And whether this is a representation of angels or the heavens or the gods, however you want to put it, it's still painted 500 years ago. 1492, Columbus off the coast of Bermuda, basically. Again, I'm not saying this is evidence. I'm just presenting information, people. That's it. Do with it what you will. But according to them, the first recorded UFO sighting in a log was Christopher Columbus, which was in fact 1492.
Seeing lights in the water isn't really an anomaly. We all know that certain kinds of underwater life give off lights. But this light actually traveled along with the ship.
Columbus noted in the log a glowing object rise out of the water and head off into the atmosphere.
From 1492, we're going to jump to 1561. Nuremberg, Germany. This is a woodcut that had been carved and painted, supposedly, of a aerial battle that took place in 1561.
On the 14th of April 1561, the people of Nuremberg in Germany witnessed a dreadful apparition in the sky. It was recorded by the artist Hans Glaser, who lived in the city and so presumably witnessed the event himself. He published a woodcut and text in a local broadsheet, a kind of tabloid newspaper that revelled in reporting strange or violent stories. The woodcut shows cylindrical objects, multiple coloured discs and globes, crosses, and even tubes that look like cannon barrels all moving across the sky. Modern UFO enthusiasts have used the Nuremberg celestial phenomenon as evidence of extraterrestrial life, although various scientists have also put forward their own explanations of why hundreds of people saw what was described as an aerial battle raging in front of the sun. There's no way of knowing how accurate Glaser's woodcut truly is, nor what actually caused the shapes in the sky. However, recent science has suggested that atmospheric phenomena are responsible. UFO skeptic Frank Johnson wrote an argument suggesting that the people of Nuremberg witnessed a parhelion, otherwise known as a sundog, which is caused by light refracting through clouds of ice crystals. His argument suggests that this was combined with other atmospheric tricks of the light, such as a low viewing angle of the sun due to the early time of day at which the phenomenon took place. Other commentators have suggested that a citywide outbreak of ergotism, in which fungus growing on grain can cause hallucinations, may have been responsible. But whatever the actual cause, whether extraterrestrial or scientific, the celestial phenomenon terrified the people of Nuremberg, who interpreted it as a warning from God.
We're going to jump from 1561 now, and we're going to go to 1639 and the case of John Winthrop. When I say context, this is what I mean by context. If we think about this time, John Winthrop, an English Puritan, one of the founding fathers of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, actually governor the first 12 years of that colony. Also a lawyer. So this is an educated man, very religious man, a very smart man, a very religious man. And I mean, this is a reach. But to have context of what it was like in 1639, maybe he is or maybe he isn't aware of Filippo Bruno or Leonardo Bruno. Once ordained as a priest or friar in 1572, most popular for being burned at the stake. In Rome in 1600, Bruno was burned for heresy. And while a lot of people want you to think it was because of his worldview on an infinite universe with numerous amount of worlds, yeah, that was probably, didn't work in his favor. But the majority of the reason he was burned at the stake was basically because he denied the virginity of Mary, the divinity of Christ, the Trinity, eternal damnation. These played a huge part in why Bruno was burned at the stake in 1600. I have no idea if John Winthrop knew about that or not, but that kind of gives you a mindset of these times. So for him to log this, if he had knowledge of what had happened to Bruno 39 years previous, then the context of this man recording that being, one, that educated, and two, that religious, I mean, that could be one case that the context would change a lot of people's mind. For somebody to hold the position that he held and then log or document publicly that, okay, so 3 men came and they told me this story. I didn't call the 3 men batshit crazy. For some reason, I documented this. Now we're going to go to the first known photograph of a flying cigar-shaped object. In the year of 1870, Mount Washington. This is before 1903 and the Wright brothers' 12 seconds of flight. Fast forward a few years after this sighting, and we'll talk about the Aurora, Texas crash, 1897. Getting close to the 1900s. We're only 6 years away from flight by man. What people say about this article is it's nothing but folklore. There's no evidence to this whatsoever. Again, I'm not giving you any evidence for shit. Not only did they say they seen a flying airship, but they also buried the occupant of this airship. So here's the article. I am just presenting information. I'm not saying it's true or it's factual. That's up to you guys. So we're going to stop the first video right there. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out. I know there's other places you can be watching other people do other things, but you're here checking this out, so I thank you. Hope you come back, and I will see you guys next time.
First of all, who can tell me what year the Founding Fathers got together? Let's see, how about...
Please don't color me. Please, Jesus, don't let him color me.
Wendy.
Phew! 1776.
Good job, Wendy. And what was that document called?
Oh, please, God, don't let him color me. Father in heaven, I beg of you.
Kyle.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Praise Jesus.
Hey, right on down the line. Hey, right on down the line. Come on over. Come on over. War's not over. War's not over. So put your weapon next to mine.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.